Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harping on Rugby preview show. And joining me to look ahead to Ireland's latest Six Nations assignment is someone making his 74th pod appearance. Welcome back to Mr. Neil Keego. Keegan.
How are we on a week full of Mondays? It is great to make it to Friday. Good to see you.
Always good to get to Friday, indeed. Well, before we crack on, Keego, maybe get your quick thoughts on Ireland's Six Nations so far.
Yeah, thankfully, the thing that we're not going to talk about that happened last year seems to have been exercised out of the system. It was a very, very strong, confident start, taking into account that France weren't their usual selves. But you can only beat what's in front of you. And anytime you can win in Paris by that much, maybe it's ruined their lives, but it's made our lives a lot easier. So far, so good. Couple of injuries coming into this weekend. A couple of great call-ups, really trusting the squad, which is great. We'll talk about that in a sec. But yeah, look, what World Cup? Let's just go one step at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. Considering that opening assignment we had, I mean, if you jumped ahead and told us we'd have 2 wins out of 2 going into this weekend, we'd have definitely taken it, whatever kind of victory it was. So it's been good so far, that's for sure. Okay, so now it's time to look at our feature match of the week, which is, of course, Ireland v Wales in round 3 of the 2024 Guinness Six Nations. It's taking place at the Aviva Stadium on Saturday, February 24th, kicking off at 2:15 p.m. TV coverage in Ireland is on RTE2, and as ever, you can find the full listings for the weekend over at harpinonrugby.com. Just click the Rugby on TV tab. Ireland named their match day 23 on Thursday afternoon. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there on the screen, or for pod listeners, it's in the program notes. The Keego's picked out a couple of points about this match day squad, starting with Mr. Kieran Frawley.
Yeah, delighted to see it. I think we keep talking about it every week, and we're kind of going, well, where's he going to play? He's got more utility than Batman's belt, which is great. He'll get on the 23 in every selection, but we want to see him start and make an impression on games. He's a big boy, strong boy, kicker, passer, can play the game, and I think when he starts at 15 after playing on both wings and at 10, I think that's a healthier way for a 15 to play. He knows where everyone should be. He knows how everyone thinks. And I think that's a big thing. 10s are going to think differently to fullbacks. They see the game differently, slightly less time, all that sort of stuff. So there's a bit more understanding of what's happening around him with all that experience. And listen, he's worth the price of admission. He's a big boy. So I'm delighted to see him get a start.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's just a reality of the modern game. It's you need to be versatile. It wouldn't be anyone's choice to be someone that can play different positions, and instead of having a fixed jersey for themselves, that's what most people would want. But I mean, it's still to wear the jersey in any way is definitely an honor. And in Frawley's case, it's important because I mean the question is we've come to rely so much on Hugo Keenan that we do need someone able to back him up. Now, a lot of people would say someone like who's a dedicated fullback like Mike Haley, who's definitely done well when he's worn the jersey for sure, and he's definitely an option. But you could also make the argument that maybe at the moment he might be more needed in Munster, and for the test team, it's kind of better to have someone who can play different positions that can fill in and have a couple of options there. So Frawley seems to be the guy, and it's interesting looking at this lineup, trying to work out who would replace who if they got injured. Jack Crowley himself has played fullback, but you'd think that Frawley, it's the other way around. Frawley's there to replace him because they've gone with a 6-2 bench, and it's only Stu McCluskey on the bench. So you're thinking maybe Henshaw. He's played fullback in the past. I don't know. You don't want to find out, but it's created a lot of debate. But definitely Frawley. It's good to see him get a chance in a big game and show us what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think everyone's realizing what can happen and what the road ahead is for us. We used to say canned ham last year, this year, like it's all ahead of us. So there is pressure on the game. You got to verbalize these things, 2024. But it's all of this stuff that is ahead of us and is it kind of, if things go the way they should go, that's the way it should go. And that's added pressure. And Frawley's not walking in on game 2 after losing game 1 or game 1 or he's in game 3. The wheels are in motion now, so it's up to him to step up and do his thing. And he, no doubt, he'll do it.
Definitely. Okay, we'll move on to your second point. You want to have a look at someone who's coming on the bench to earn his first cap?
Absolutely delighted for Jagger. It's a great story. And he's gone away, he's come back, he's doing his thing. And a lot of people are talking about him and Beelum and all that sort of stuff going on. And I think Beelum has proven himself. I think Beelum has really stepped up over the last maybe 3 seasons, 3.5 seasons. No worries, no questions, no problems there. And a week off always does the guys well. And the more competition for places, the better. I know Furlong's starting, and he's going to get minutes in the boots, and we all want him to build that back up. But I think Beelum is fine. We don't have to worry about that. Let's see what Ollie does. He'll get a shot. He's a big boy, and I think he's put the shift in. He deserves the shot. It's not given out for a prize to him. He deserves to be there. He's been brought into various camps in the last year. So yeah, let's go. Let's do it. I just don't think we need to worry about Jager, Beelum, all this sort of stuff. Beelum's there. Don't worry about it. Let's just see what Jager's going to do.
Well, just looked about like 3 or 4 years ago, and we were like, "Who the hell do we have after Tyke Furlong?" And so now we've got we know Bielan can do it. We've seen Tom O'Toole do
Tom
what
O'Toole, yeah.
Toole do well, and now we've got Yager. I mean, he's come over from the Crusaders, who had the Super Rugby kicked off this morning, and they had a narrow loss to the Chiefs. But he had a spell there. He learned a lot down there in New Zealand. They persuaded him to come over and play for Munster, and he's getting his shot now in the Ireland squad. And it's you can't have too many able to fill the jersey, and he deserves his shot, that's for sure. It's an interesting lineup overall. The 6-2 bench. I'm wondering now. We have a feeling that the Welsh will come over and be physical, so it's a wise move. But you're also wondering, is there a bit of Twickenham in this choice as well? Because that's going to be another battle as well. We're going to have another an extra forward on the bench. Won't go astray over there either. So it'll be interesting to see how the team pans out. It's a strong pack overall as well. We've gone back to McCarthy and Burns startings at a second row with James Ryan on the bench. We never thought we'd see that, but McCarthy has been blazing a trail since he's come up there. He's earned a spot, and it's hard to make an argument against that pack in any way. So we'll see how they get on.
So just really quick, sorry, I meant to say it in the WhatsApp earlier on, but the 4 and 5 and the way they work together is really impressive to work. They're doing different jobs, but they support each other so well. It's really like they're both mutants, obviously, and all that sort of stuff. But the way they work together is better than Ryan and one of those two at the moment. So it's a great and then Ryan comes on hungry and ready to rock and roll. So it's a great happy discovery, but it also keeps Ryan hungry because he's not going anywhere. Like he's coming back strong. But I love the way McCarthy and Byrne are kind of managing the game together.
Absolutely, and I'm afraid to jinx it, but we've done so well with the lineouts so far as well that they're a good partnership for that, and I think Byrne is calling a lot of them, and we've got a lot of good targets in that line out as well. So that'll set up a key platform for us. Okay, so now it's time to have a look at the Welsh lineup. Now, first of all, if you go back one in our feed, the podcast, we talked to the author of a book, Welsh Rugby: What Went Wrong, during the week. Simon Williams. It was a good name for the book, and it's a great book, and explains a lot. And it's a lot there for an Irish perspective to appreciate as well. And of course, we do. I mean, with all banter aside, we want things to be definitely going better for them out there, and we just want all these headlines to just stop, and so they can get on with the rugby. But he's picked an interesting lineup.
Yeah, absolutely, and much like you say, like there's a lot of stuff going on that players can't control. They control what happens on Saturday, so that's their freedom. That's what I mean. As much freedom as you get under Warren Gatland, but that's their freedom. I feel they're going to go for it. Like they still have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? Everyone is just expecting everything to fall off, wooden spoons, all that sort of stuff. So there is a freedom that comes with that. And I do think the line out, they'll go at it again, even though it's been performing well for us. They may look at Ryan not being on the pitch as we can target that 4 and 5. Now, whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. There is Warren Ball in there, like, you know what I mean? A leopard doesn't change his spots. But they're big boys, as you say, they're ready to go. And I much like everyone now, they're going to go for that big opening 20 against Ireland. And the thing we've done so well is we have a stronger opening 20 than we've had in a long time. So I think it's going to be a massive scrap, early 20, 25 minutes. And they're not coming to mess around. As I say, they're big boys. We're not going to, great back three, obviously, nice midfield. But I think they're going to go into the pack and they're going to try and bash us up. And it's not going to be sexy rugby or anything. And, people may be looking at their ticket stubs going, this is a lot of money for 25 minutes. But I think eventually the game will open up.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are going to bash us up. They actually have a guy called Basham on the bench, ready to come on. But no, listen, we're used to Welsh teams coming over, and we're expecting things from their back row. It's the back row we're always looking at, and they do still churn them out. But I think the key to that lineup I'm seeing there is, like you say, in the midfield, Tompkins and North, very strong, a very strong center partnership there, and going up against Aki and Henshaw, that could be the kind of the key to this match. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so now just a quick look at the officials. You see them there on the screen. Andrea Piardi is the referee with the mixed assistants there. And the weather for Dublin 4 on Saturday is mostly cloudy with a stray shower, kind of a bit of a wind, 40% chance of rain. So we'll see. Just it sounds like a typical Dublin afternoon more than anything else. Now, when we go look at the other matches from the weekend, there's a lot to get through here. So we'll just ask you maybe for a quick forecast on the other two Six Nations matches. First of all, Scotland v England.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this one. It's going to be great. Scotland on the way back, England stubborn, and there's moments there. That's the one I'm going to be watching as well as the Ireland game. I think it's in Scotland. Is it in
Yep.
Scotland? So I'll go for the Scotland win, but it's a score. I think that's
Yep.
what it's going to be, and it's going to be a great watch.
Yeah, it could be close. And then France v Italy on the Sunday.
Yeah, I would love I love France, but
Mm.
I love Italian food more than French food. So yeah, I'd love it to be close, but I do think France are gonna, France at home, they're just gonna steamroll them, unfortunately.
Yeah, that it's definitely looking that way. Well, like I say, there's loads of other rugby this weekend. We got the under 20s
Mhm.
playing on the Friday night. They had a bit of a squeaker against Italy the last time, but they still got through. They're still on for another 5 wins. So we'll see how they'll be playing the Welsh, who do always have a good under 20 side. So that won't be a gimme. You got the sevens. They're over in Vancouver, both men and women. They did really well in Perth in the last round. The women won theirs, and the men got a bronze medal. Like I said, Super Rugby kicked off, but then back here in Ireland, we've got women's rugby. The Wolfhounds are playing the Clovers, the two teams in that Celtic Challenge, which makes this now the Wolfhounds can actually win that if they win this match. But it's also effectively a final trial for the Women's Six Nations, which is kicking off in a few weeks as well. And then last but not least, the other team we follow on these previews every week, Leinster, actually have a match tonight. They're helping out the cause. The Premiership, all those teams, unfortunately, folding the past few seasons. They're short of matches, so nice of us to go help them out. I think Munster are playing Harlequins in a couple of weeks. We're going over to give Saracens an extra payday. And they picked a very interesting team for that. It's the Reese Ruddock All Stars. You'll see it there on the screen. Reese Ruddock All Stars back together again with Reese captaining the side and Sam Prendergast playing 10. Lots of interesting names there coming into the team, plus an extensive bench, so they'll all get a bit of a run. But I don't think there's any TV coverage on that streaming. If I do, I'll post it on social media if I find out anything. But we'll try to keep tabs of that somehow.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw international friendlies popping up, and I got really confused. So yeah, going over to Saracens always good. It's good exposure for the guys. Prendergast up against the big squad. Reese Ruddock being kept happy after his dad tried to ship him off to Wales, so we've got to keep him here and keep him happy. But no, it's non-stop rugby. So cash in the brownie points this weekend and take control of the remote control for the telly.
Yeah, decent Saracens team as well. There's a couple of Vanapoas playing for them as well, so it's not exactly their reserves either. Okay, so we're going to go to our feature match prediction now. How do you see it going on Saturday?
Yeah, I think it's got to be us. It's got to be us again, and 7 to 10 points plus Ireland 7 to 10.
Oh yeah, it might actually be close. I mean, you look at these matches and you don't know is there going to be there could be a sending off, there could be all sorts going on. And one thing, I mean, I said to Simon Williams who came on, he said over here in Ireland, we do like to maybe get smug a bit about how we're doing in these competitions and stuff, and maybe what's going over in Wales. But the fact remains, when we see these headlines. Well, the first thing we usually say to each other is, "Oh yeah, all this is going on over there. They're going to win the bloody next year, aren't they?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's that. So you can never take them for granted for sure. Okay, well, listen, we're going to leave it there, man. Many thanks again for joining us. What stand-up gigs do you have lined up down the road?
So we got Tuesday. We're just off a sold out show in Rascals Brewery there Wednesday night, and then we're jumping into Walkinstown on Tuesday, Dublin on Wednesday, and then preparing for the rugby.
As you do. And of course, you'll find all those relevant links in the program notes. Okay, we're going to leave it there. Thanks again, Keego, for coming on for a chat. Hope to have you on again soon, man.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
And many thanks to you all for tuning in to our latest preview show. Enjoying the match wherever you are. Be sure to follow us on all the usual social media channels, including Blue Sky. We will, of course, have a wrap pod for you this week, recording Sunday evening. So hopefully you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.